This is your weekly podcast for Rocky's Rockin' Cruises and Adventures, bringing to you information about the greatest rock and roll cruises in the world. Hosted by Kathleen, Kane, and Rocky. I'm Kathleen Kane, and we're podcasting to you from Wiley Productions. I'm general manager here and head of the podcast division. This is our third episode of Rocky's Rockin' Cruises and Adventures series. And today I'd like to welcome the founder and executive producer of Rocky's Rockin' Cruises and Adventures, along with the best rock and roll cruise on the planet, Rockin the Caribbean. Hey, Rocky.
Hey, Kathleen, how are you?
Good. This has been so much fun. Last week we had Gary Lewis on. Mm-hmm. This week we're going to have another special artist. But first, let's talk about the cruise. It's February 16th through the 24th, 8 days, Friday to Saturday on Adventures of the Seas. How's this one going to be a little bit different?
This cruise is an 8-day cruise, like you said, and it's going to 4 ports of call. And we'll have that information up for you in just a little bit. But what's nice about this cruise is we're on Adventure of the Seas, Royal Caribbean. It's a little bit smaller ship than the big Oasis class that we've done the last few times. So it's a little more intimate. Mm-hmm. I like it personally, like it better because we can get a little bit closer to the guests. Mm-hmm. And the artists that we bring on board, all the original recording artists, can get a little bit closer to the guests and have some more fun with them throughout the whole week of the cruise. And you get an extra day. It's not a 7-day cruise, it's an 8-day cruise. So you have that extra day of just having more music and more rock and roll fun and
relaxation.
Hanging out with everybody.
Now tell us a little bit more about the acts.
Yeah, well, as always, every year we do this cruise, we have a lineup of some great original artists from the 50s, 60s, and early 70s. And this year's no different. We're going to have Gary Lewis and the Playboys joining us, singing all their great 60s records. Bowser and the Stingrays and Johnny Contardo. Bowser and Johnny, of course, from that great group, Sha Na Na.
Johnny has an awesome voice.
Oh, he still sings great.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Bowser, you know.
Right.
They'll be joining us again. Jay Siegel's Tokens will be on the cruise, singing The Lion Sleeps Tonight and all their great records. Brian Hyland will be joining us. Also, Peggy March. We'll also have Vito Picone and the Elegants for you doo-wop folks out there. Lala Brooks, the original lead singer of the Crystals.
Yeah.
She'll be on board with us. Kathleen Kane will be singing. And if you never heard Kathleen sing, she sings like an angel.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I left my wings in the car.
My group, of course, Rocky and the Rollers, and our master of ceremonies, Al Brady, who will be DJing the rest of the week, and our next special guest.
I'm so excited. As we said, we promised you each episode we would have on one of the artists. And today, the one and only Dennis Tufano from the Buckinghams.
Dennis Tufano, the original lead singer of the Buckinghams. Songs like Hey Baby, Susan, Don't You Care, Mercy Mercy, and that #1 big hit record, 1967, Kind of a Drag. He's going to be joining us. Are you there, Dennis?
Hey, so Dennis, we're talking to you. You're in California right now. You're all the way across the states. Yeah.
I know, it's amazing how we can do this. Very Star Trek.
It really is. I know, personally speaking, I'm so excited to be doing a cruise with you again on Adventure of the Seas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it's always a highlight in my calendar when I know that we're going on the cruise. Now, the cruise is one thing, but the social grouping of this cruise is what makes it special. We have just the people involved, the fans involved. Everybody is like a family. So it's like going on a cruise with your whole family. And the people are really sweet, and the band is excellent. And the acts they all stand up to it, and it works great. So it's more than just a cruise. It really is a bonding of music and the people who love the music.
Right.
And the acts. And we enjoy it too because we like to get involved with the people because we never had a chance to meet the fans before.
Yeah, it really has over the years, and you're right, it has over the years evolved into this kind of camaraderie between all the artists that come on the cruise for the week, and with the people that cruise on the cruise the whole week with us. I've noticed over the
Right.
years how close everybody has got, and enjoys the week, and enjoys being together, singing together, performing together, and just hanging out together, which what this
Oh
thing
yeah.
has kind of
Well, the
evolved
hanging
into.
out is yeah, the hanging out is very important.
Having a few glasses of
The
wine together.
exactly. I was getting to that. Matter of fact, I've got a bottle right here. I've got my favorite breakfast wine right here.
Breakfast
Uh,
wine.
no, but it's like it's like walking around on the ship when we're not performing, and the people treat us like we're just walking through their backyard.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, you sounded good there, whatever. And it's just so great that because they don't clam on you, they don't do any of that stuff. They're you get to know them over the years too. So it's kind of sweet. It's kind of like visiting. Like I said, it's Thanksgiving on the high seas,
Oh.
and everybody's having a good time. And the cruise itself, aside from our portion of the cruise, which I think is stellar, I think the whole cruise itself is kind of an interesting vibe because of Rocky and the Rollers and the Rockin the Caribbean addition to the Royal Caribbean.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's it brings us closeness to the performer, to the audience. And on a cruise where you don't know anybody, it's like being in a strange city. But all the people that come to the Rocky and the Roller show make it feel like family. So it's like it gives us a kind of like something to stand up for, and not feel like we're strange on the ship and stuff. So it's really a gas. I mean, I can't believe what I thought about it the other day. How many years back this started, and it's just amazing the camaraderie and the loyalty and the respect that this whole project has with it. So, yeah, I definitely can't wait for it. And I don't like traveling that much. But when you're on the ship, you don't know you're traveling. It's like you're in some
True.
space station someplace.
The ocean universe.
Yeah, we're surrounded by good friends and food. So how could you
Yeah.
go wrong?
Yeah.
Dennis, when we do the shows on the ship, we have a lot of other functions that we do. Of course, the autograph session and the meet and greets and the
Q&As.
the Q&As
Yeah, I like
and
that.
things. But the one thing I love, especially when we perform with you, when my band Rockin the Rollers performs with you, is that great Chicago horn sound that the Buckinghams were a big part of back in the '60s. I mean, you always
Yes.
think of Chicago and you always think of the Ides of March and all, but you guys really were the first guys to bring that big fat horn sound into the mainstream
Well,
rock and roll.
we brought it. We brought it to more than one song. A lot of people just added some horns to songs once in a while, but pretty much most of our recordings had good, 3 horns in them.
Yeah.
And we kind of got tagged by being the band. And then the Ides of March came out with Vehicle.
Right.
And that was kind of like, and that was much later, but that was kind of like a tribute to us and the group Chicago. You listen to that song, it sounds like the group Chicago, and it's great to be recognized as having something unique in our work from the city. And I think as Chicago guys, we all feel pretty proud of that.
Exactly, and you should, because being in a band that is a horn band like my band Rockin the Rollers, there isn't a lot of acts that have that much horns in their recordings. So for us to get to play with you, doing your show, and we've been performing with you for a long time now,
it's great.
all over the country. It's kind of a highlight for us that week because we really get to play some songs that have meat to them, that have some the horns. And I bring that up because you were pegged back in the '60s as a little something called sunshine pop. Have you ever heard that term?
Yeah.
Sunshine
Yes.
pop.
Yes.
And I don't think
So
of those.
yeah, we didn't sing about drugs or anything.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, I don't
it's
think
like
of those
we were
records.
always put in that little place. Yeah, like we were clean, very clean.
Very clean.
But yeah, but deep down inside, we were funky.
Well, that's, I was
But
just going to say that one of my favorite songs of yours is Mercy, Mercy. I mean,
oh yeah, it's a great tune.
it
Yeah.
really is.
Well, it was a great gift when we got the demo from Johnny Guitar Watson and Larry Williams with the lyric to that great song, because it gave us an opportunity to perform a little bit off center from what our other records were, and because it was all done as an album cut, so there was no like restrictions. But once the record company heard it, they said, "Oh no, let's release this," and it became a hit. And so it really opened us up a little bit. So and getting back to the horn band thing and working with Rocky and the Rollers, it's. I'm sorry, I'm treating you like a third person here. The band is exactly what I feel like slipping into a comfortable glove.
Oh, yeah.
When the very first time I worked with you in the Villages, you said we had never played together, and you were playing that night, and you called me up on the stage, and you did, "Hey baby, they're playing our song," and I was nervous as hell because I never met any of you before, and you played the song perfectly, the horns and the vocals and everything, and it was right, the tempo. You got rhythm. You got rhythm, kid.
That's right.
Thank you, Dennis. That's.
Well, he's a drummer. I would hope.
I'm
you
a
have
drummer. I should have some kind
Yeah.
I
of.
would hope you have a
Yeah.
lot of rhythm.
But
But
thank,
that's part of it too. I mean, this is your motivation, let's say, for doing what you do with these. This is a lot of work.
yeah.
This
Well,
is not something that you could just pick up the phone and get it together in a week. And you handle it so professionally.
oh, thank you.
And I think that all the acts will feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's the operating word that Cruise is. It's comfortable.
The-
And it doesn't feel like we're at a gig, It's like being in a week-long carnival of some sort,
Yeah, I
great.
think a lot of it has to do with the camaraderie, like we talked about earlier, where we've been playing with all you guys for so long, and we've all become friends that the
Yeah.
music becomes second nature, especially on the cruise, because we have to back up so many different acts throughout the week. It becomes this second nature, and the first thing that I personally look forward to is just spending the time with everybody in a situation that we normally don't when we're doing shows in the United States around the country
Right.
at different venues. We're in, we're out, you do the show, you go back to the hotel. Here we get to kind of hang out, and enjoy each
Yeah,
other and have a
yeah.
glass of wine
And
or
it-
have dinner. And what's nice
Yeah,
about
that's one of, yeah, that's what the acts really enjoy too. I mean, you don't have a chance, like you say, on regular shows.
Yeah.
Everybody splits and goes to the hotel or home or wherever it's going. They got a flight to catch. Now we run into each other and hang out.
Yeah.
Like we're walking through the streets of Naples or something, and we sit in a cafe with somebody,
Right.
And I'm going to talk to them about that Streets of Naples thing. I think we need some new pizza. Anyway, I digress.
But isn't that really what the cruise is all about? And talking
Yeah.
to the people that are our guests on the cruise all week long, they talk about how you guys are so accessible throughout the week on the ship. Talk to you because you become passengers, and you're so accessible
Yeah.
to just sit down and have a cup of coffee when you're on the promenade, or maybe see them for lunch, and sit down with them in the buffet.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what the cruise has really become about. And I think it sets us aside from the other rock and roll cruises that are out there, is that that's first and foremost in my mind, is that not only the passengers, but the acts also feel like they're there just relaxing and having a cruise.
Right. Exactly. You're not just
Right.
You're not just flying on, flying off. You're there with everyone, enjoying all the
Right.
activities. Yeah.
Right. And it's also nice for us. I get the people break away from that image they have of you, of just hearing your voice come out of a speaker, to meeting you and knowing that you're a human being. And I'll tell you, and a bunch of wacky human beings on these cruises. The acts are all, yeah, he's one of them. He's one of them. He's Papa Bear.
Me?
And
Papa Bear.
but we all, I think the acts from the '60s especially, we were always regular people, we were kind of made into rock stars and stuff, but we never had that pompous kind of thing going on. And it's nice that we can share who we are with these people, and that makes me feel very comfortable.
Good.
And that I think comfortable is the word for the whole thing. It's like you make it possible for all of us to be comfortable. So God bless you.
Thank you, Dennis, and God bless you. But what's going to be nice this year, we're going out February 16th, and we're doing it's going to be an 8-day cruise this year. We're going to 4 ports of call.
8 days.
8 days. So we get an extra day of having an extra glass of wine together.
Oh.
And it's a Friday to Saturday, which is a little different too.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to
Why
be
do
fun.
you think they added the other day?
To give us an extra port of call. We're going to be going to 4 different ports instead of 3, which makes the cruise a little bit bit nicer. And we're looking forward to it. We got a lot of great acts coming on again this next cruise, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I know Gary Lewis and the Playboys are coming. We had Gary on last week.
That's great.
And they were just here, performed in the Villages with me and the guys, and I had them out to the house. You've been out to my house over on the Gulf Coast, and they had such a great time, and we're looking forward to spending the whole week. I got to go fishing.
Oh, you caught one.
He called.
I did.
We're looking forward to spending a whole week with those guys. Gary and the Playboys, all those guys are great guys. Just hanging out with them all week is always fun. And
Oh God, yeah.
So in closing, we just want to say thank you, Dennis, first for taking the time out today to join Kathleen and I on the podcast, and we look forward to seeing you next cruise.
I always enjoy talking to you too, Dennis. At the last cruise, we had a lot of fun, a lot of neat conversations.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's. I think we've become kind of like a pack.
Yeah.
We're a pack now, so I think it's great.
I like it.
And I don't look forward to all the gigs I'm going to, but until I get on stage.
Yeah.
But for the cruise, to know that I'm going to be with all you people and all these great acts, I just feel that this is a nice break from the world view.
Oh.
And so, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Jerry.
Okay,
Thank
Dennis
you so much for waking
Tufano.
me up so early.
Oh, from California and the Buckinghams, of course. Can't wait to see you on Adventure of the Seas and Rocky.
Thank you. Look forward to it.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks,
All right,
Kathleen.
then.
Dennis is such a great guy.
He is.
I really, truly enjoy him.
Good. 'Cause he's one of my best friends.
Yeah. Now, next week, we're going to have another special guest, something a little bit different, but people who you've been working with for a long time.
Yeah, we're going to have a couple of people from AAA Travel join us from their groups department, their head division. They're here in Tampa, Florida.
They're so helpful.
They're very helpful. And I've been
Yes.
doing the cruise with them, with AAA, for a very long time now. Susan Cressy will be joining us, and Lori Fabricant will be joining us next week. And we're really going to talk about how you book the cruise, what you get when you book the cruise, the things that we give you, how the whole booking situation unfolds, what you need up front, through your cabin, through your dinner reservations. We'll be talking with them next week, and it'll be very informative next week, especially if you're a first-time cruiser on Rockin the Caribbean. You'll have a lot of answers, to the questions that you might have about how they book and how do I book and things
So
like that.
you definitely don't want to miss next week's.
No.
Yeah. However, let us know now how you can book it.
Well, you could book it by looking at everything that we're about to show you at the end of the podcast. There'll be phone numbers and also the websites you can go to. And I got to tell you, I got to say this every week, you better book soon. We expect this cruise to be sold out by August.
I can't wait.
Me either.
All right. Well, we've had just another fun time talking about the best rock and roll cruise on the planet, Rockin the Caribbean. Rocky, founder and executive producer of Rocky's Rockin' Cruises and Adventures, the idea man. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome, Kathleen. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It's always a great time. I'm Kathleen Kane, podcasting to you from Wiley Productions, and we'll catch you next time.